The first thing that's happened is the site is so clean, the blog is so professional looking. The first time I sent a video out, I had literally 4 or 5 other realtors, including a couple of them that are my good buddies, respond and say, "Whoa." One of them's a competitor in my office. He's like, "Dude, I'm respectfully indignant of what you like. He said this is big boy marketing stuff," which is, like he was boggled. This is a top producer, 100 plus transactions a year. Yeah. That was the first thing that happened. The next thing that happened is probably in the next 2 weeks, I started to see people around town. It's funny, I run into a guy at the gas station where I get my Diet Dr. Pepper. That's my guilty pleasure, right? I run into him, and the guy, he's a dude in the community that is well known. He's a player in the community. Has a big disaster restoration company, used to build parade homes. He said, "Hey, I don't know what you're doing, but everywhere I look, I see your branding, and it is classic. Keep going." Well, I know for a fact that I haven't communicated with this guy Paul in a long time, and I know for a fact that he had just started getting my video emails. It was probably after the second one I sent. Now I understand we have other branding, and we've got gorgeous signs around, but those are the first things, right? Yeah. But from 3 specific scenarios, I so far, and this is probably good for a testimonial, guys, so far I have never call it the click report yet. We've been in transition. We just hired 2 brand new buyer specialists. We let an ISA go that wasn't working. I have not been calling the click report. So this is literally sending the videos out like clockwork and taking about 30 minutes every single time Jason sends me the proof, and copy and paste into Microsoft Word and tweaking the actual...
that's great.
Yes. Yeah. So if you go in and read it...
You're getting the language just right.
Yes.
That's great.
Right. If you it'd be kind of fun. Just like after this call or sometime next week, pop on my site and just read the most recent piece, and you'll catch my tone in there. Right. You'll hear this Jeremy. I'm not rewriting him, I promise, but I'm taking about 30 minutes because look, it's an email to 5,000 people plus a blog post. I have 30 minutes, right? So I've had 3 specific things come out of it. One was a sphere of influence of mine who responded and said, "Hey, I've got a neighbor who's thinking about selling their house." I know. I mean, I know him well, but I haven't heard from him in years. He's thinking about selling his house. I said, "Great, call me." He called me. Here's their name, phone number, address. Connect with them. Another one was maybe it was the same email. A gal responds to me that had come through. We captured her as a lead in Real Pro Systems probably 3 months ago, a buyer lead. I don't know. It was a web lead. We didn't have a phone number. We got nowhere with her. She replied to the video email, "Hey, Jeremy, I'm ready to sell my house." Well, I didn't know who she was, right? And so I responded and said, "Hey, listen, you have to forgive me. I hope you'll forgive me." I kind of said, "I don't know who you are." She said, "Oh, yeah, I came through a while back to set up my email home search. I'll be in town on the 17th, which is tomorrow, and I'm ready to list my townhome."
You know what's funny? I bet you the phone number she provided on that site was incorrect. And it was the email that got her to convert, and you never would have got her without something like that.
It was purely the email. Again, I've never talked to her. I've never talked to her my whole entire life. I responded and said, "Oh my gosh, what's the address? And by the way, if you'd be so kind, just complete this form. We have a kind of a Google Doc type form, which is a seller pre-qual form." Mm-hmm. 5 minutes later, she completed it, sent it back. It's done.
So let me ask you this: so, how much business to date? I mean, just off of 2 months of this, how much business can you directly attribute to Vyral Marketing?
Well, okay.
At least in the pipeline, because it hasn't closed yet.
We'll take that listing tomorrow. We're working on the listing that I mentioned before. We're in communication with the other one. But the third piece, and this is pretty interesting, fellow I've known since my childhood, and he built in 2009 a 24,000 square foot home for the St. George Parade of Homes. Now, I know a lot of people who listen to these testimonials don't know what that means in St. George, Utah. The property is about a $6 million home. That's the equivalent, honestly, Frank, in San Diego. If you saw this home, I'd email it to you. Dude, it's a $20 million property in San Diego. I promise it is. Okay? In every way, shape, or form. Bowling alley, the works. He replies to my email Monday. "Hey, we've been thinking. You reached out to us with an expired letter 6 months ago. We've never done business with you. We're finally ready to sell the house." How did you get his email? If he was an expired, Facebook. Facebook.
Nice.
By exporting the Facebook emails. He responded, he said, "I'd love to meet with you." I go meet with he and his father today. It's totally informal because we were childhood friends, but disconnected forever, right?
Oh,
Like
my
we like
goodness.
played around when we were 10. We meet, it's totally informal. They said, you are so on the ball. We felt like you're the guy, and we've seen this stuff you're communicating. So yeah, let's meet next week and let's get this thing on the market. $6 million, $5.9 million. But here's the interesting part. Again, a $5.9 million listing is huge in any market. So
what you're seeing here is, well, look, you got a past client come back to you. You got someone that came on from an online buyer lead that you weren't able to call, wasn't calling it, and then you had, this is helping you move up your price point. I mean, they probably looked at a lot of realtors before they were going to hire. They said, yeah, I'm a friend with you, but they said this guy's coming across as very professional.
I don't know. I just can't say enough about the concept of sending out value, not self-promotion. At first, we're so used to self-promotion, even though we're told not to do it. We're always going, but can I do a little bit of it? Can I just do a tiny bit of self-promotion? It's like asking our mom for permission. and you guys don't do it. Don't do any self-promotion, or at least not up front. And so, I don't know, man. I believe, I see people say, hey, this seems good for 2 transactions a month over time. I fully believe that. I don't have any question it's good for 2 transactions a month. I think it's good for I think it's good for more, though. My database is 4,500 right now that we're emailing to. So, who knows? We got 2 new buyer specialists when we add in their accounts. I don't know.
Jeremy, here's the bottom line. I mean, how do you track ROI from all this? How do you know what the ROI is going to be? Like, what would you say to someone that says, well, I don't know what the ROI is?
Well, I mean, I think people just have to step back and, ROI can be tracked. It can be as complex or as simple as you want it. But very simply, hey, if you're putting in 400, what do I pay you in a month? $495?
520. You're paying 60.
$525.
You're paying $6,300 a year for a 10-time return. I want to see $63,000 of commissions.
Right. Yeah,
It's
very simple. So just for me, we started using an ROI tracker, the Larscape made to Google Doc, right? It just has all of your marketing expenses in one column across the top, one row, and then below it you're just plugging in deals that came out of it. Well, I don't see how this isn't a 10 times return. That's my personal opinion. And realize, I understand this $6 million listing, that's an anomaly. You know what I mean? Like, this is where across the bottom of the screen it says warning results not typical. But
it's pretty cool it happened. Well, let me ask you this. What would you say is the biggest benefit here? Like, what is the biggest benefit to you with Vyral Marketing?
Wow. I always have to give things in threes, but I'm going to give you number 1, and then I'm going to give you 2 sub-ones because I have to give you 2 or I won't be able to hang out. The biggest single benefit is forced implementation. Well, I know it's not forced, but how about the skids are greased very nicely by you guys. I realize you can't force me to shoot the videos, but it's nearly forced implementation of communicating with my database. That to me is hands down. Now, the supporting items, number 2 would be, well, I don't know. Number 2 would be the frequency. Not only you're forcing it, but it's communicating with people, Gary Keller style, build a database, communicate it with in a systematic way. Doing that twice a month. And the last piece, it rivals the others, but it's having you guys as marketing partners. And you already know that. I realize that we're talking about a testimonial here, but I've told you guys off the air, off record, that I consider you guys as marketing partners.
Why is that so different than like other vendors you work with? What makes Vyral Marketing a marketing partner versus like someone else?
Because the average vendor, as you know, might be really great and they may care, but basically their deal is sign you up, give you the service as designed, great, here's the service, and nothing more. And certainly they're not going to take some time and say, hey, we've been thinking, maybe you ought to try this, or maybe you ought to tweak this. Here's what I've noticed with Vyral. It's totally under-promising and over-delivering. Oh, we'll do that for you too. Oh, wait, we also do that. I'm going, you did? I thought you guys just sent 2 emails a month for me. Remember when I wouldn't sign up with you guys because I thought you were just going to send 2 emails for me?
Yeah.
And I understand. I understood at the time that it was trackable and you'd put it on a blog. But literally I was like, I don't know if I want to spend $500 a month on it. But when you look at building a big business like I'm trying to do, I mean, I don't know what people define as big, but, we'd love to sell, 200-300 homes. We did 110 last year. When you're looking at that kind of stuff, you have to have this kind of outreach going on. You know what I mean? And $500 becomes literally pennies to have it happen automatically.
Mm-hmm.
How
much time would you say viral marketing takes you? So you're improving the writing a little bit by putting some personalization on it, but altogether, to get these results, how much time are you spending on this?
Honestly, and I know people love to give really low numbers. I'm spending 60 to 90 minutes a month. I'm figuring I spend 30 minutes, probably 90 minutes. I'm spending 30 minutes twice a month to tweak the transcript of the blog.
And another 30 minutes to shoot your 2 videos.
You got it.
Yeah.
You got it.
Great.
90 minutes. And, dude, max 30 minutes. I mean, Jason, I understand that I have an easy time on camera. It goes fast. Sometimes you're on the phone like 12 minutes, dude.
Here's a great question. Would you rather spend that 90 minutes grinding out cold calls or step back, do this, and then you have these results coming in?
Oh, this is 30 times better. It might be 90 times better. I mean, it's a simple, I mean, obviously, it's almost a rhetorical question, right? Because the answer is obvious, but it's true. And listen, I'm sure when you start calling the Click Report, the people on the Click Report, I'm sure it's better.
Yep.
But you know what's really cool about it? If you don't want to, you don't have to. And guys out there, anybody who gets this, yeah, if you don't call the people that come back on the Click Report, you're probably giving up some money. But seriously, if you have this massive anxiety about calling people in your database, then don't. But for crying out loud, send them 2 videos a month. That's my attitude.
What,
you know what I mean?
What tips could you give someone to be successful?
One is so simple, but one is execute the plan. Do it every month, because I think that people are. I realize if you give good content, they say, "Oh, you must be good," but I really believe it's a little bit like calling the lead back fast is probably more important than having a great script. Would you agree? Speed trumps skill. I think execution trumps skill on this. I think sending out a video from somebody who's kind of corny on camera and who's uncomfortable twice a month is way better than, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Than spending 2 hours on a newsletter.
Yeah.
That's number one. Tip number 2 is just be ready for that video shoot. When your coach calls you and says, or sets up time, hey, 4 o'clock on Wednesday, we're going to do the video shoot. You really need to not be saying at 3:57, oh, crap, I'm not ready. Just have 2 or 3 basic stats, number of homes for sale, some sort of national trend, something that people would care about. Get it up there, have it on the screen, and be ready to go. Because that's why those calls with Jason that I'm doing are seriously 12 to 20 minutes. Like, that's recording time included, at least the recording calls. He and I obviously do some other coaching calls where we just mastermind, but mine are pretty short, man. He calls in and he's like, you ready to rip? Yeah, let's go. And we start talking.
Great, man. Well, yeah, I'm really excited to see what your final ROI is.
Yeah, so am I. Yeah, that's the thing is I'd love to go out 12 months from the day we signed up with you guys. I'll give you one last thing that I think is really stellar. Yeah. We, like so many people, operate from all these different systems. We have, our Real Pro Systems account, and so a lot of people have Boomtown accounts.
All
we
these
have
different CRM systems.
Right.
Locked up in. Yeah.
Here's what's awesome. I don't have to go in and go, okay, these people need this newsletter, and these people, no. Everyone comes in, they go into Vyral.
Everybody.
That's it. That's what they get now from the Larkin group. If they don't, they'll like it, but that's what they get. Even the new sales people that are coming on our team, what do we send out in our database? We send them this. We send them direct mail, but I'm saying you don't have to build a new campaign. We do it. Or you do it with me, I guess.
Yeah. Cool, man. Well, is there anything else you want to say that people should know?
You know what? Honestly, this sounds like such an infomercial, but let me say it. I've said this in the rate board. I've said it probably in the Mega Agent Mastermind board on Facebook. Just sign up. Seriously. I don't know how much time I wasted between A, not sending out value, B, not sending out value consistently, and C, trying to concoct a silly newsletter on my own on my website every month. It wasn't silly. It was fine. But it did not have the impact this does. 2 years. I figured 2 years past that I could have saved myself a lot of trouble. So there you go.
Cool, man. Well, Jeremy, thanks so much for the interview.
Yeah, dude. I love it. I'm excited to talk to you because I feel strong about it.